Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner. Today, the Primaries Marines take on the Drukhari in an open war mission, which are the new cards from Games Workshop. 1,250 points, and the Primaris see themselves surrounded in this week's battle report. Let's dive into the tactics, the thoughts of the game, and what you could have done differently. Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner. So, playing Rob and his full Primaris Space Marine army. Now, Crimson Fist's new army out of the Space Marine book. So they've got cool chapter tactics and, of course, a chapter master, giving them rerolls to hit. The lieutenant rerolls 1s to wound, and the librarian has some cool psychic powers. So all in all, it was a well-rounded list. The Reavers are actually quite nice. And they've got some cool abilities as well. Before, this was pre-FAQ or pre-release. They've changed the combat blade since then to not have a -1 AP, which is something that really came into play this game. Now, I was playing a 1,250 point army. My Hellions had +1 toughness. I had given my witches an extra strength or an extra attack, I believe. An extra strength, and I think my Succubus had a +1 attack. I really like the Succubus +1 attack, simply because she has 6 attacks with her Archite Glaive and becomes quite nasty in close combat. Now, I've also tried the +1 strength for my Succubus, making her strength 6 with her Archite Glaive, and this has proven to be quite effective as well, especially against tougher opponents. But with strength 5, she's normally wounding on 5s or 3s, regardless of if she's strength 6. So let's go on to the game. Now, I split up my forces, and this I believe was a mistake. Mainly because I was unable to stop the Reaver charge directly into where my objective was. I should have deployed the Hellions back there with their 2 damage weapons to really put pressure on any Reavers that decided to come close to my objective. So that was a main mistake. The Rax and the Homunculus really did hold their own, but they got completely slaughtered once the Reavers came in, buffed up with Pedro Cantor's extra attack aura and reroll misses aura, meaning that they were just punishingly putting out a lot of damage. And even though the Rax had toughness 5 around the Homunculus, the 5+ save and the 6+ Dark Eldar save just was not enough. Now, I did a couple of key little tricks. I tied up the Hellblasters with my Raider, being able to fly up to 2nd level of Ruins, which meant that I essentially tied up his heavy shooting all game long. But at the end of the day, the force that he sent to my objective overwhelmed what I had there, and the force that I sent to his objective got completely slaughtered. And with those 2 things in mind, I just was unable to come back from that. When my witches charged in, and essentially all of them died, any sort of hope of them not dying, or me taking his objective, were completely thwarted, considering he had a lot more models near his objective than I did. Now, in retrospect, something that did, in the open war missions, you never really know what's going to happen, so it's very good to have a balanced army that you can pick and choose and really figure out, what right tool is for the job. But Space Marines work very well using all these aura abilities and really kind of stacking all this to really increase the general power of specific units and models. My Warlord, the Homunculus, I want to talk a little about him. I like how tough he is. I like how many wounds he has. And his abilities are really cool, with his Crucible of Malediction that can affect Psychers and cause mortal wounds on them once per game, and his Electrocorrosive Whip that has an incredible amount of damage to always wounding on a 4+ weapon. So he did have the tools at his disposal, I just was unable to execute. Now, the reason the game finished so quickly was because of the sudden death victory. and my opponent was able to get that sudden death victory when he decided to regenerate or respawn the Venerable Dreadnought with one of the Ruse cards. And the Venerable Dreadnought that had previously been destroyed essentially got to walk right onto my objective, and that solidified the game. Not that I had much left anyway, because there was only the one Witch and a Raider left, but still, that really just made it impossible for me to win the game, and good victory to the Crimson Fists. They took a win from the Dark Kin. So let me know what you think. You know, had you deployed like all in one, do you think the Dark Eldar would have had a better choice? Do you think my target priority was off? Or do you think, you know, Primaris Marines are stronger than they seem? Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and join us next week on Monday when the Catechins take to the field once again against the Drukhari. This is Skari, your grateful host, out.